beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville, Texas. And first day of early
Oh,
voting
we're
went,
on. Sorry.
huh?
I said, oh, we're on. Sorry.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. Go on. Sorry.
It's a great day in the city of Brownsville. Let me tell you, today was the first day of early voting. Great numbers.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to go look.
I I posted on my page.
We
Uh,
haven't had time to be online.
that's what I say, dude. I've been beside you. I've been sitting beside you since 6 o'clock. Calmate. 5:30. Okay, so for everybody who doesn't know, what's the website?
Erasmo Castro.
No. Cameron County Elections.
Oh, you could you could go to Cameron County Elections Department. It's complicated, guys. Just go to my page. I already posted it.
Yes, but so people will know. I think this is something we should all know that I didn't learn about. Don't make that eyes at me. I'll go to bed. It's Monday night. I get Mondays off. I don't know if you remember that or not.
No, I do not recall.
Is it elections department?
Cameron County Elections.
Voter
Election
registration.
results. Election results.
Okay, so when you go to that page, guys, results is one of the options there, and you can actually see whether your neighbors went to vote or not,
Oh yeah.
or your coworkers went to go. So if they tell you, "Yeah, I already voted," you can go check.
Don't believe them.
Okay, go. I'm done. That's my soapbox.
6,900.
I want to make like a yard sign and encourage my voters, my neighbors to go
Neighbors?
vote.
Maybe you know what would be kind of cool if everyone had like a little lemonade stand. You know, a small little lemonade stand, and say, "Hey, come buy some lemonade, and don't forget to go out and vote." I think I almost said a better word. And
Could
don't
make
forget to
one
go out
for
and vote.
Luciana.
You know, and maybe give a discount whenever they bring in their little voting sticker, like Maggie has. But you know, it was kind of trippy because I actually went to vote today. You know, at the library, they didn't have any damn stickers.
They had some at the
They just
BISD.
started.
Huh?
They just started.
Yeah, no, but you're supposed to get the the little "I voted" stickers. I didn't get one.
Because if you don't, that means you didn't vote.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. And if you don't post it on Facebook.
It was kind of funny. My parents got one. They went to the courthouse, and I don't know where did you go vote, Maggie?
Browns, BISD
Building. Yeah,
building.
my parents went to the courthouse here downtown, and they got a sticker. Papa actually got interviewed by Channel 5 News. Ay, Papa, and he gets asked, sir, what's your name? He goes, Erasmo Castro, and they go like, well, sir, so, what motivated you? Why you come out to vote? And I thought like, well, he's gonna say, because I came to vote for Erasmo Castro, right? You think that's what any normal individual would go out there and say, right?
Any dad? Yes.
Eh?
Any dad?
Any normal
Yes.
dad?
Any normal dad would go and say, well, I'm out here voting for my son. Now he
Yeah.
goes, no me gusta lo que pasa con los baby killers.
What?
Oh my God. I'm going like, oh, Dad, do you want me to lose this election? Or what? No me gusta lo que pasa con el abortion. I'm going like,
Con la
really?
potion.
Con la abortion.
Wow.
I'm going like, Dad, really? That was this is why I came out to vote thing? And it was
His
kind of
3
trippy
minutes
because
of fame.
Papa, I hope they don't air that. Like, Papa Erasmo Castro, let's cut this out, please. Channel 5. if I've been nice to y'all, remember? But let me tell you, it's kind of funny because I'm probably going to get some blasted about this. But this morning, I'm in this Republican Party text message, and I know they're going to hate me. Don't hate me, guys. In this Republican, but I always say everything, so they should know better. So all of a sudden, all the Republicans start putting out there, oh, Lord Jesus Christ, God help me, and God help us all, and it's in the power of Jesus' blood and everything. And I'm going like, okay, you know. So, what do you? Does anyone have any idea what I put? I'm the best pastor in Texas and north of Mexico. You know what I put?
I don't
Jesus
Anyone
is
want
on my
anyone,
side.
anyone want to take a shot at it?
know. The power of Christ compels you.
I should have thought of that one. I said kumbaya.
Don't mock
¿Me creen?
kumbaya.
Eh?
Don't mock kumbaya.
Y'all believe me or no?
Yes,
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Kumbaya.
my lord. Hey, so then if you get on this early voter or the registration office, you can check to see how many people voted just for BISD.
Oh,
For
yeah.
BISD votes.
Yeah.
So it's like that specific, folks.
I took my first time voter asking with my husband.
I took my first time voter asking with my husband.
Voting
So-
with my husband? Maybe. Don't annoy my Maggie. I like her.
Thank you.
She is
You
easy.
didn't say hello to Mr. de los Santos.
Hi guys.
Commissioner de las
evening.
Chanclas. Commissioner de las Chanclas has failed us.
How so?
How
I
did
saw
he
pictures.
fail us?
I saw a picture.
Oh, that's right. He saw me attending an
picture?
event and I wasn't wearing my chanclas.
He was wearing shoes, and I'm going like, bitch, I know you did. I don't ruin this for me.
He thought the front was coming in tonight.
That was last week, I think, and I sent him the picture with like a red circle around the feet. I'm going like, what the hell, bro? And I think it was funny because I think he only saw the what the hell. And he was going like, what do you mean? You know?
Yeah, I saw the picture, but I didn't see the circle around the feet right away.
Is this another one of your Facebook posts, Erasmo, that
Not
I
yet.
missed?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
I should put it up. No te dejes, Maggie. You're right, Maggie. I didn't know. Good evening, everyone. I voted today. Voted for Erasmo. Preach, sister. Love you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I want to vote today. I abstained on all votes and turned in my form. You better not abstained on mine. We didn't get stickers at library. Yeah. Yeah, I voted at the library and I didn't get the damn sticker. I told you guys. There's a conspiracy. And that's the place where there were more votes. Actually, 1,472 votes came into the public library, the one on Central.
Mhm.
You see, this is where I think, and again, this is why Erasmo was probably one of the smartest individuals around here, uh, all party here included. It's because I told people out there in like in the party and stuff, hey guys, get on the bandwagon. It's going to be an issue. Get up there, talk about the corruption, about everything that's going on. This is before the Tanasca audit. Then the Tanasca audit, hit, and everyone's going like, oh yeah, corruption. I'm going like, bitch, I know you didn't. But it was funny because I think Carlo and Kayla, who were at the PUB meeting, we actually divided today. They mentioned to me that I think it was y'all that mentioned that Joey Lopez had gone to the PUB meeting. And I'm like, ándale, cabrón. Ándale. No, que no. Now, but don't y'all think it's a little bit too late? Now these politicians now like, oh yeah, we care. Where have we been all this time?
I don't know, because sometimes you do say that the public has short-term memory. So we remember only what happens right before election and right after.
Yeah, sure.
So thankfully, someone went ahead and gave us the information about what the superintendent. Can we talk about it yet? Can we bring it up yet?
We'll probably talk about it today. So yeah, you could bring it up.
Okay. So Erasmo had already brought it up, but you guys know? Am I the only one here who knows?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So,
No one ever does. Don't worry.
a few months ago, BIC got scammed for $1 million.
Okay.
And they paid out. Okay, so this is what everybody's asking me, and I have no idea, and Erasmo, I need for you to find out. Did they do what PUB did, which is that they accidentally pay the wrong person saying that was them, or did
Yes.
they not vet one of the vendors properly, and a vendor came, took the money, and ran?
I think that because the feds are involved, I think they were scammed. Again,
Well, yes, they
Commissioner,
were scammed, but how so?
okay, let me finish. Commissioner de las Chanclas could probably clarify this on me. And I think part of the problem is because they used internet and telephone, so it becomes a super
Federal crime.
duper federal offense because of something with email, telephone, and all this other stuff. Because that's what happened to PUB. If you remember, they got really involved because of the 1.2 that was supposedly sent to Noble but wasn't sent to Noble constructors. I actually thought, and again, I actually thought that maybe it was the same individuals now hitting BISD saying, "Hey, we're Noble Constructors. Send us a check."
I know you keep saying that, and that's the only thing I can relate to. Now, the construction and so this is, I think they were being charged for the parking at Sam's Stadium, right? Which, by the way, is supposed to, right? That's the problem, right? They were supposedly paying off a contractor for the work that's being done in the parking lot.
Well, that's the actual work that's being done at BISD. They're actually increasing the parking lot. And remember that they bought the Landreth building and they bought this other property over there. Is it on the West Elizabeth Street?
Yeah.
It is West Elizabeth. And all that property, you go now, and I think some of that property was even owned by Eddie Trevino. I'm not sure, but now they cleared it out, and they were going to have an entrance. You know where the big old that sign is, the scoreboard, the
Yes.
$4 million scoreboard.
Okay.
The entrance was going to be there, that side, instead of being over here off of Jefferson.
Okay, someone sent it to me. It is that, Erasmo. It was payment for the parking, and the company that was getting paid is NM. Hang on, because I don't have my reading glasses with me, and I don't know what I did with them.
MNOP.
MN Contracting LLC.
Another LLC.
So is it? It's not Noble, right?
I have no idea. I've never heard of that one.
Okay.
No, it's not Noble. It's not Noble.
So they're the ones who got paid. It turned out to be $1 million. You saw what I posted, huh?
900,000, no?
1,043,846. It's on my. You
want
want the
those
what?
with that?
I want those 46 cents back. Oh, talking about giving back pennies on the dollar.
Okay, so then go ahead.
Talking about giving back pennies on the dollar. One of the things that I think that was being proposed, I don't know if Commissioner Las Chancas has a little bit more information on this.
Wait, I forgot. So I started telling you this. So they scammed. Don't close your eye at me. They scammed and paid out the $1 million months ago. This actually happened months ago, but the superintendent was trying to keep it hush hush and didn't want it to come out before the election. So now it got leaked out because one of the things they're trying to do is they're trying to scapegoat one of the clerks, and blaming it on one of like the lower paying persons, instead of taking it, because he's the one who signed off on it in the end. So anyway, so that's it. So talking about that stuff that comes out right before election, you can talk.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. And one of the things that I heard was that PUB was considering giving back some money back to the consumers somewhere. And I heard this in the amounts of $600. Is that the gist of it, Commissioner?
I have not heard an amount yet. I do know that we appointed the representatives from the city of Brownsville to what will be a joint committee that will discuss how to dispose of the monies that still remain in accounts at PUB from Tenasca.
Hola, Omar. But I think you got nominated and got picked for this committee. Is that correct?
Correct. Myself and Commissioner Cardenas.
So it's y'all two.
Yes, and the mayor, since the mayor sits on both boards.
Okay.
Okay. Then what was
Cool.
that the other nomination of people?
That was for the Charter Review Committee.
Oh, okay.
and we'll go into the charter review committee in a little bit. Uh, but in regards, again, for some reason, I heard the amount of $600 being thrown out there. Uh, do you think that we're actually going to get back our money, or are we going to get pennies on the dollar?
Well, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. First, you've got, out of all the money that was collected for Tenasca, you've got monies that were spent on the consultants. Those monies are gone. You've got money that was part of the fund transfer to the city each of those years. And you've got the 29 million that's left over that we're going to work on disposing of. And then you've also got monies that were used to subsidize the fuel surcharge. So, when citizens are saying we should be getting our money back, the money was sitting there, and a lot of this money was being given back to the consumer on their bill every month through that subsidy.
Mm,
Yes.
but
The price of natural gas went up way before our bills started going up. And the reason we did not see it was because the Tenasca money was being used to keep our bills artificially low.
but Commissioner,
But
we got scammed.
yes, you did.
We were lied to. We were manipulated.
Correct.
We were made to believe something that never should have happened. And if it never should have happened, we never would have fallen into the consultants, the charges, the attorneys, because the attorneys made a damn killing. Something that was absolutely completely out of our power and not our fault. So, I mean, is it too far fetched that we, as the people of Brownsville, are going to say, well, screw y'all. Y'all take the hit, PUB. Y'all effed us over. You lied to us. You manipulated. You cheated. You you greased some wheels.
Mm-hmm.
You greased some wheels, and we shouldn't expect our $118 million back.
That's not what I
Also,
said.
wasn't
What
a
I said
portion
is
of
we're not
that
going to pay out
invested?
236 million.
135 million.
No, no. If it's 135, though, what I'm saying is part of that 135 has already been given back to
Wait, see,
ratepayers
okay.
on their bills as a subsidy. We're not going to pay double that amount.
And I
So I'm
want to
saying
thank.
we're going to calculate, we're going to look at the monies, where it went, how that went.
But see, let me say this, and I appreciate that we're back at 135 because I was adamant, wasn't I, Maggie? It's 135.
I'm
Yeah.
going along with your 135. I haven't seen the total.
I appreciate you coming along with me.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, and I'm going to let Carlo go next. Let me tell you, a lot of people, and I'm the reasonable one. I'm meeting y'all halfway because a lot of people out there are screaming, "Give us interest on the money that you took from us." Because what happened? No, because what happened was PUB, and it states in the audit, they played with our money. They invested, they did this, they did the money. They played with our money. So a lot of people out there saying, "Hey guys, that's what no, we need to fight for interest on the money." And I'm meeting y'all halfway. I'm going out there saying, "Okay, let's just get our money back. Let's get our money back. Let's get our $135 million and let's go forward." But again, I don't care how much money the PUB said that they were like throwing out there to help subsidize a lot of the payments out there. I want $135 million back. Carlo?
Well, I was just going to say that 135 is what was collected, but who knows what happened with the money, the portion that was invested, right? I mean, there might have been gains through that maybe we're not hearing about. So you're talking about just collected money, but there was, like you said, things done with that money. It didn't just sit there.
No, I'll take this one. Now, Commissioner, let me tell you, they started to build a building. Some say it's a very pretty building. I don't think it's that nice. I think it's very fancy. I don't like it personally. There was no need for a building. There really wasn't. And I know you agree on this as well. There was absolutely no need for that building, especially with the way things are going now. Take into consideration, para todo, these guys, they want to throw COVID at our face. Oh, well, COVID, and gotta shut the doors at PUB. You can't come in and put it. And all of a sudden, it's like they were preparing for this audit to hit, and they were preparing for the storm, because all of a sudden you can't go to PUB. But anyway, a lot of folks out there weren't going to PUB to pay their bill anymore, except a lot of the viejitos and everything else. Because
Mhm.
now a lot of us have, the little app thing where you get a text message and you pay your bill, and a lot of it was being done online. I just don't see no justification to build themselves a fancy old office building where
Are they going
a
to
lot.
stop construction on that second building?
Are they going to stop what on the second
Because
building?
there's a second building being built, right? You said,
I
Erasmo?
don't believe so.
Well, no, I think what it was is the power waste thing on 511. I think.
Oh,
Well, again, correct me if I'm wrong. That's where some of the other money went to.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the accounting of the funds.
But again, going into this, let me say we got duped. So again, and I'm trying, to hold, to calm the masses, going like, guys, let's not go for 200, $300 million. Although, let me say, uh, you know, there's talk, and again, this is one of the things that you hate to have to do, because there are individuals out there, and I know that there's a lot of individuals locally, and a lot of individuals, from outside the area that are interested in filing a class action lawsuit. And again, look, at the end of the day, one of the things that I think that we screw ourselves on is that this is ours, you know. But whenever we want remuneration, whenever we want for them to do the right thing, then well, it's ours, guys. It's yours. But when they were stealing and lying and cheating and manipulating, then it was theirs, and they benefited from it. Martinez benefited from it. Golonsky benefited from it. Nerith Golonsky, who was sitting on that freaking board and now votes against the audit, tries to push back on anything that's going to bring an ounce of justice to the people of Brownsville. Nerith Golonsky, still stares at you behind a mask and expects you to believe anything she says. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have mentioned the name, but it sort of slipped out a little bit. You know, but it's
I was gonna say,
infuriating,
I was
I
gonna say, do you
understand
want
it.
to
It
tell us
absolutely
something?
is.
huh?
I was gonna say, do you want to tell us something? Is there something you want to get out in the open?
It's infuriating,
No, I
because
agree.
Absolutely.
at any point, anyone with an ounce of dignity would probably go like, let me resign my position. But look, we already got screwed on the Casa de Nylon building. We know that. Screwed. And what's funny, Commissioner La Chanclas? It's the same people.
And for our newbies, how did the city get screwed with the Casa de Nylon building? Because you
We
haven't
paid
brought that one up in a while.
we paid $2.3 million for
On
a
a
piece of
piece
crap.
of property that was worth what?
600. And I know that there was other little buildings, other little things. It still didn't add
Yeah,
up to
it
2.3
was
million.
half a city block is what the acquisition was.
It still didn't add up to $2.3 million. But Golonsky's made a killing.
And we can't do anything with the building.
Under the building's under construction. And I think the construction's almost done now. That's the new eBridge Center for
I
entrepreneurs.
thought we couldn't do anything with the building because of asbestos.
That was a lie.
Well, we still don't have the building.
There was a slight amount of asbestos there, and I think, like we say, it was a $2.3 million acquisition. The cost to remediate the asbestos that was found there was, I don't remember, it was $20,000 or $60,000.
No, there still is asbestos. So it wasn't light.
No, it was remediated. No, but the thing is, the comment that you made was, we can never use this building because there's so much asbestos, it's not usable. That was not true. There was a little bit of asbestos. It was remediated for less than 10% of the total value of the property.
Well,
Less than 2% or 3%
I'll
of the total value.
I'll take that back as long as we get back our $2.3 million. No, but at the end of the day, let me tell you, they made a killing. And let me say this to my credit. I think that one of the only reasons that they hurried up and tried to and it took them years to figure out something to do something with that building, is because we were bitching about it for so long. Because
Very
it
right.
was, yeah, because we had to bitch about it. Now, again, it's como, what really irks me es que quieren tapar el sol con un dedo. And they want us to buy and to believe all this crap. And let me say, we should have never bought that building. There was a lot of folks out there that said that they should have never, ever, ever bought that building. But we bought the building from Golansky, and Martinez was all over this crap. Martinez was all like hot and heavy. No, it's going to be the greatest thing. We're going to go out there and going to sell it back to the university. That was a lie. Even Julieta Garcia said, "I'm never going to step foot in that piece of crap." She said that. And again, that more power to her. I don't care for her too much, but she was right. Never going to set foot in it. But it was sold to us the same way that Sinasca was sold to us. It's going to be amazing for Brownsville. Amazing for Brownsville. And my concern, Commissioner La Chantas, is that it's the same people.
Valid concern. Very valid.
Martinez, and all those other little individuals that scurry around them like little jaivitas, because they've got these little jaivitas that like scurry around them, like Martinez, like Ramiro Gonzalez, your friend Rose Gowan, they scurry around him because that's what they were doing. They were scurrying around Tony Martinez. He was running for re-election again. And all of a sudden, he's out of the runoff. Thank God, God help us. God help us on that one. Kumbaya. But shout out to my Republican people. But they scurried around him, and then all of a sudden he lost, and they go and they scurry around our mayor, Trey Mendez. And that's one of the times I had a conversation with Trey. I said, Trey, why are you associating with these people? And again, to my credit, I hope that the mayor learned his lesson, because that little scurrying around with Ramiro Gonzalez, partially what they got him in a little bit of trouble with the BCIC $200,000 grant. Again, don't want to bring that up right now, because one of the things that I mentioned tonight when we talked after the meeting was, guys, let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. And it's very hard, because a lot of individuals have different years. Like Maggie's going like, the Sam Stadium. It's like, come down.
You do not sound like that, Maggie.
Yeah, no, I do, but not tonight. Well, on the show, not at the meeting.
But that's what I'm trying to say. We gotta stay focused, because we want to have the opportunity, Commissioner de la Sala. We already know that y'all have already picked, except you. We've already picked individuals that are going to be on this charter review committee. And again, I think
6 out of the 7.
Yeah, 6 out of 7. I think most of those individuals out there, are going to do okay.
Who are these people, by the way? We'd like to know.
We'll mention right now.
Pick them?
I have not picked mine.
Okay. But
I reserved mine.
Yeah, and we'll go into your reserve in a bit. But you named a couple.
Yes, I did.
And is there a special reason why you named the individuals? And should we be concerned that they were yayed by the others? And maybe we should go on board as to why you.
I'll leave it up to you guys whether or not to be concerned, but I'll give you my reasons. First of all, the 2 that I named were being brought back from the prior charter review committee, and there were things that came out of the last charter review that I did not agree with, and so I wouldn't want a repeat of that. Number 2, one of the 2 people that, and one of the two people that I named was Vito Cardenas, and Vito's a very, very good friend of mine. He texted me right away. He's like, "You're voting against me." I'm like, "I disagreed with some of the decisions that came out of it."
Yeah,
I said, that's all it's about. Is if and I don't agree with the decisions, why would I want to put you back on there?
That was a surprise, though, because Vito, and to your credit, Vito has always been very, no, La Chancla is amazing.
We're very good friends, very good friends. The other one was Carlos Cascos, who I respect a great deal and is a perfect person for something like this. But 1, he's in the middle of a campaign, and 2, he is politicizing PUB. That is a big part of his campaign right now, is everything that happened with PUB and Tenasca. And when you consider that this charter review committee is that's one of the things they're going to take up, is the control the city has over PUB. To me, you should keep people who are running a campaign on that platform out of the charter review committee. Focus on the charter review.
to your credit, I agree on the Carlos Casco thing. I
Can
mean,
we get that on record?
yeah, no, that's fine. Hey, look, I've always said it. I agree in that respect. I I I'll disagree in the fact that yeah, this is very very important for Carlos Cascos to bring up as a campaigner,
Absolutely.
because his opponent was receiving these monies while he was county judge, or a big old chunk of these monies, not all the monies. And again, that's one of the clarifications that out there made. Not all the monies, but some of those monies. So it's a good argument. Hey, if you're going to be out there and reviewing, you shouldn't be involved in the campaign because you might be biased. And that's fair. I can see it. I still don't understand Vito, except Vito sometimes is a pain in the butt, but he still hasn't brought me cookies, and that's what I have against Vito right now. He still has not brought me
Because he
some of
knows
those
you
cookies.
have a bad tooth. That's why he's not taking your cookies.
He's a good
Be
friend.
a good friend.
But now the other one, you decided not to place anyone on the committee. Is it you're trying to vet myself or Carlo for the position, or
You're running for office as well, and PUB is a big issue for you. So no, sir, you won't be on my short list.
but let me to my credit, sir. I'm bitching about PUB since 2014.
Yes, you have.
But no, again, and one of the things that I said out there, I'm not a good candidate to be on boards and committees right now, and maybe not in a while, and I can accept that. I'm too much of a Erasmo Castro to be, but why wait, sir?
Because I didn't have someone that I think is who I want on that board ready to go. I've got to talk to folks and make sure they'd be willing, but it's got to be somebody that I believe is above reproach in the eyes of the community and who I would trust completely to serve in that
I
capacity.
accept.
And keep in mind also the schedule they laid out for them. That's meeting like almost once a week, once every 2 weeks between now and February, and that's quite a bit to ask of anyone, especially through the holidays. So whoever accepts that, they're going to have to make that commitment.
Yeah. Again, I'm okay with that. And again, I'm okay with that. 100%. One of the things that I think that a lot of us, we're going to do our own little, and look, it's educational, and I think it's a great thing for more individuals throughout the community, to be well informed in regards to the charter. And let me tell you, the guys, I think that most of the people here know that, that a lot of times people ask questions like, what is the charter? And where is it? And stuff like that. And that's okay. What happens is that it's an educational opportunity, I think, for the community as a whole to be more aware as in regards to the different processes. I'm going to guess that most people in the city of Brownsville didn't even know that we had a charter. You know, and it's like, what's that?
Mhm.
I actually had to Google translate it to figure out what was the correct word in Spanish, porque no sabía lo que era.
¿Y qué es la palabra?
Constitución.
Ah, muy bien.
Constitución.
Hey,
Hey, Linda.
Hello, everyone. So, what topics did you give me an overview? I'm sorry, I'm late, but
Qué
give me an
raro.
overview. What is it that you guys are discussing about?
Well, we already did the Tanasca. We already did the PUB. So now we're talking about everyone's favorite ice cream.
Ooh!
Hey,
I
get
came
to,
in at the right time.
get to
So
the
you
comments
missed.
real quick before you get behind.
Yeah, we
Yeah, there you
committed
go.
to all
I do have a
conferences tonight,
question
Joe.
though,
Go.
because there was supposedly a possibility of firing Brusiak today or doing something. Do we have any news on that?
That would not be something that comes from the city commission. If anything like that would happen, it would come from the PUB board of directors. I know they met today, but I've not heard a word about anything that happened at that meeting.
I
Are
think
they still
Linda
in closed session?
I
Linda
don't
can
know.
clarify the number one issue, the number one item in executive session. I think, and Linda can correct me. It had to do with legal. So there was the idea floated around that what might be discussed is the termination of Brusiak. But I don't know if they ended executive session, if they were still there. Did anything else or anything other come from the meeting, Linda?
So there was a discussion on distribution of monies. How do you go about that? They talked about possibly looking at previous cities that have been in a similar situation. I believe they stated San Antonio had been uh, in a project where they had to redistribute, and I believe it was about $54 million. So they talked about that. They talked about possibly collaborating with the public through town halls, meetings, um, to garner ideas as to how can monies be distributed, because that's a big question. We know that 29 million are going to go back to the public. Now, what is going to be fair, and how do you equally distribute monies to one, people who have been here for 2 years, people who have been paying for the last 9 years, people who were here but left, people who just came in the last month? So there are many questions that are going to be discussed, right? And so one of the board members, he went on to state that he wanted to reassure us, when we go on behind closed sessions, it's not about just sipping coffee. It's not about just us being there. There's people on the board who are fighting and who are with you. And so that was nice for them to state that. But it's definitely going to be interesting as to how they will come up as to a solution, how monies will be distributed. Now, when they went on closed session, there was two things. The first one, they were discussing about taking any form of litigation against the audit, right? And then the second one was discussing about the CEO and if replacement for him. So there hasn't been any news or any letters that they've sent out on social media, on their Facebook or on their website that state any actions that have occurred based on those two agenda items that have been behind closed doors. But they're listening, and I really, really enjoyed how they were reverting. They were paraphrasing statements that some of the people that spoke on there, they were paraphrasing what we had already said. So they're listening, and I saw them jotting down ideas that we stated. And so I really appreciate that. Roy, I appreciate you for being on here. As I'm hearing you speak, it seems to me that you're a liaison on behalf of the city commission, and you're here as well as Erasmo being the liaison for the public. And so it's really about us just coming forth together and continuing to put the pressure where it needs to be, and being very clear as to what we want and having realistic goals with that. I know one of the big debate is, well, we want our $118 million back, full compensation. However, it is unfortunate 29 million is what's available on funds. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm just glad that we're all communicating. We're getting together. We're being educated, and we're putting our ducks in a row to be able to strategize and get our goals going.
Let me and I'll add on to a little bit of what Lila said. I got word from a lot of small business and a little bit on the larger side business, and their concern is, what about our cut? Because again, something was floated about $600 out there, and a lot of the small business owners and business owners going like, well, wait a minute, we're just going to get $600. We put in two, three, four, $5,000. So I understand that there's going to be, I guess, a lot of consultants being brought in, and a lot of
No.
talk here and there in order to figure out how the hell we're going to get some of that money back. And
I
again,
want to get on that consulting.
We don't need a consultant to tell us how to do that.
but let me
I
say,
want to get in on that consulting.
yeah, I want to be one of the consultants too. But
So, one of the things that I stated onto the public comment is that there are many benefits to owning your utility board or owning your utility company. And some of those benefits, we're not really reaping from them, or, the really expectation of those benefits have definitely transferred over to disappointment. However, it's reminding them that the public utility board belongs to me. It belongs to my daughters. It belongs to Roy. It belongs to, Carlo and Erasmo and Kayla and Maggie. Is that your name, Maggie? And Maggie, it belongs to us. So definitely being able to voice concerns and being able to have some form of participation, because people are mad. And I know I was having these conversations in my household. I was having them with my partner. I was having them with my family members. I was educating them, talking to them about what is happening. However, the most important conversation to have was to be having it a public comment, and that was not happening, right? And so most definitely it does belong to us, and we need to they need to survey, I mean, you need to ask the public what is it that you want, and gather the best, options and realistic options, because people are going to be like, "Pues I want $1 million and whatnot."
Why
But
do?
select the most realistic ones, grab them from there, and let's have a vote, and maybe an internal vote. I'm not sure how legal some of those things could be, but I mean, if they could walk us through the process, then yes, the public wants to speak, the public wants to be heard, and
Like,
we want to have the option of deciding what to do.
I think one of the conversations that we were having right before you came was part of the again, and and I'm a peacemaker, and Roy Las Chanclas knows this, Commissioner. I'm the peacemaker around here because people come to me, and like Linda mentioned, they've come to her, they come to a lot of people, and look at like these comments. There's no negotiation. We just return the damn money, and it's true. The people want their money back because they feel they got duped, they got gypped, and we did. That's just the facts. Facts of the matter. And when people say, Erasmo, queremos que nos regrese el dinero, I said, I agree with you. He said, con intereses. I go like, oh, hold on, hold on. That's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. But I think it's an opportunity for everyone to meet us halfway. Now, I'm glad Mayor Mendez clarified the comment, because Mayor Mendez had stated that there was no need for a town hall meeting, and some individuals thought that he was trying to say like we don't want your input, and he came back and clarified that wasn't the
That's
case.
true.
I just don't want to delay the time. I don't want more plática. I want more action, and I appreciate that. And again, and I think Mayor Mendez, and again, I'm very, very proud that he's out here fighting for it. I think Mayor Mendez is realizing that you cannot have a dot here and a dot here with nothing in between. People want all the information, clarification. Maggie says it as if you're talking to eighth graders, and not to diss any voters or anyone in the city of Brownsville, but there's a lot of individuals that just want plain talk. Tell me everything. Don't
As
let
if
me.
I'm an 8-year-old.
Yeah, as if I'm able. Don't something like that. I don't know. But don't leave me in the guessing game, because then what happens is, and again, Commissioner Las Chanclas, because there's so much distrust right now because of what we learned. There's so much like no
Outrage.
outrage. I'm shut up. We need that transparency. We need that clarity. We need to have maybe consider having all these meetings, Commissioner Los Santos, GBEC, BCIC, PUB. Maybe have them live streamed. Like you all do.
They are.
The city
They are
commission
live
meetings.
stream.
Not all of
BCIC
them.
is also
not
live
not
stream.
not all
I
of,
can
no,
attest for that.
not all of them. Not all of them, but all of them that have to deal with directly. And these are the three big ones with taxpayer money. From now on, they all have to be out there on live, and hopefully more individuals will start to pay more attention.
No, and I
Commissioner,
agree 100% with that, and that's part of what we need to do. And we should have the power as a city to mandate that for PUB, but we don't have that authority today, and that's the
Not
charter
today.
issue again.
not today. Let me tell you one of the things that I think some of us have been asking Commissioner de los Santos. Give us one. Put it up for a vote. Give
Yes,
us.
but here's the problem. You all want one just because of relationships, not because of any criminal act or any act that justifies it. Like tonight, you all said, "Give me Sandra Sines because she worked for Tony Martinez."
But that's
Show me one vote that she took that she should not have voted on that. She broke the law on that. She did something that was wrong. Give me cause. Don't tell me because she's compadres with somebody, we want her head.
see, but that's the thing, is that we don't have any faith in our leaders right now. And I was going to say city commissioners, and I know all of this happened before you did, and I was going to point that out earlier also. This is all pre you being part of the leadership in Brownsville.
Right now.
But yeah, but we don't trust anything Tony Martinez did, and therefore we don't trust anybody that he appointed or had business negotiations with, or co-worker. And so
Business
to
partner.
me, it's the most obvious one of all the people that are on the board right now. That's the one anyone, not anyone, but a lot of people in Brownsville are gonna not trust.
Okay, but let me put it this way, Maggie. If I was to find out tomorrow, well, you know what? Erasmo was part of that $1 million scam at BISD. And let's say you were still an employee at BISD. Well, the head's got to roll. Let's fire Maggie because Maggie's on his show all the time, even though you had nothing to do with it.
Dude, I've been trying to get off this show because people keep telling me that I shouldn't trust him. Do you not see? Have you not made that connection? Yes, you're proving my point exactly. Yes, right.
And here's another good example. Eddie Trevino, who's mentioned in the audit. I worked for Eddie Trevino 30 years ago. When I was in high school, I went to school half a day and I worked at a law firm half a day. Eddie Trevino was an attorney at that firm, so technically he was one of my bosses. But I'm one of the commissioners who's bringing you guys the transparency, the information, the accountability, but very easily, any one of these people who just wants ahead could say, well, you know what, on the commission, Roy de los Santos worked for Eddie Trevino, Roy de los Santos has to resign.
But you're not a current business partner with a former mayor, Tony Martinez. You weren't in the back fighting against removing Brugiak. Mm-hmm. And again, and this is coming from inside, sir. She was one of the proponents to negate everything that was on the audit report. Again, didn't want there to be a lot of. She's doing an Earth Kolonsky is what she's doing.
But was that in open session?
I don't know. This was in executive session.
See, I can't act on anything that was in executive session that I don't have knowledge of.
But this goes in tune with. They were placed there by Tony Martinez. Sandra Langley worked with Tony Martinez. Sandra Langley was in Colombia with G. Beck. On another failed project, Commissioner. Another failed project. It cost us millions. And again, I'm going to say $20 to $25 million, Commissioner. And we got nothing from Colombia. But that chick got a beautiful little vacation out there.
Let me see one PUB board member, open session on the record, attempting to discredit this audit without any just cause. I'll be the first one to put them up for removal.
Well, they did. Did you hear the statement? They had a statement where they stated that they were questioning the veracity. What was the word that they used?
Factual errors or something like that.
Factual.
But that was a PUB statement.
And so I did comment on that.
From the board.
When they had the closed session, the agenda item is number 1, and it clearly states on there the actions that they wanted to take moving on forward, any litigation according or towards these auditors. And I did ask them when I went under public comment that this audit, because the city commissioners have pushed towards this audit, because we've known about Tenasca, we've had these conversations amongst us, amongst community members, in our households, at work. We've known about this. We knew something was up. But now, these city commissioners are pushing forward this audit. The audit comes out, it's public outrage. We're finding out that people in which we place trust in betrayed us. And so that door has been cracked open. It's like, okay, the light is shining, the door is open, and we're trying to walk through it. However, when they question the audit, when they try to halt it, when they try to go after it through litigation, through suing, or however they want to go about going against this audit, they discredit them and they discredit all our hard work into trying to get in there. They discredit the fact that we're going and attending public meetings, that we're reading, that we're learning, and we're fighting. And so if they try to fight it, then at that point, how credible is it? And how credible the work that we're doing? And so most definitely, we have to run open with that door. So I did ask them, please don't stop anything that has already been going, because we're trying to go in through that door.
But my concern, Linda, is now that you mention it that way, and again, I'm glad Carlos is here. I mean, could this be just a delay tactic? You know how a lot of attorneys, no offense, Carlos, but they'll go like, "Oh, let's push it forward. Let's push it forward. Let's push it forward. Let's push it forward." Wouldn't it be horrible that the PUB board vote to challenge the audit and any actions taken by the commission in court? Anyone?
What was the question? Say that one more time.
Wouldn't it be horrible if the PUB board ultimately decides
Oh, I think it
to,
would. It would be horrible.
to
And
challenge
that's what I'm saying.
the
Let me
audit?
see that in open session, and then I'll be one of the ones calling for somebody to be removed from that board.
Yeah,
I mean,
go.
if there's actually any type of litigation, discovery is probably going to be pretty bad news for PUB. So I don't know if they want to go down that road.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like the sense of urgency from Mayor Trey Mendez. And I saw there was another board member. I don't know his name, and he too was like, okay, there's a sense of urgency. Let's move forward. Let's do this now.
With a
And
mustache,
so, yes,
Rendon.
okay. So he most definitely was, and Sampaio, Sampaio.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was, front center there, and I really liked his listening. He was having eye contact. He had a concerned face. He really showed respect, and he ultimately regurgitated everything that we had to say. And so I appreciated him too as a board member because he made us feel heard.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sampaio, the good-looking one. What's the good-looking one's name? Hellman.
Joseph Holman.
Yeah. I only know them by the looks. The good-looking one is the guy seemed to be on the attentive side. Didn't say much, was on the attentive
He sat
side.
there listening, but
Yeah.
he doesn't say much.
What struck me odd was that when I made that statement about let's not push the auditor, let's not try to discredit them, let's not try to push any, anything suing or anything of that nature. Let's not pause it. Let's roll with it. He made a face like, oh, like that, like, oh. I don't know what that meant. I don't know what it meant, but when I said that, he was like, oh, he just went like that, and I don't know what to, that language communication. I don't know. I don't want to
Well,
interpret it one way, but I don't know who that man was.
I'll try and interpret it. I think that they had previous knowledge in regards to some information that they were going to talk about, in executive, going like, they're on the right track. But we just want transparency and
Yeah.
restitution. And one of the things that I shared at the commissioners meeting last week, got to work on regaining the trust, because at this point, and again, and I look and I know, Commissioner the Las Chanclas wasn't involved, and I know that Pedro Cardenas was involved. It doesn't matter, the people in general right now, they have again, misplaced, let's even call it. They have a distrust against the system, and we need to work. And that's just why I tell folks, guys, don't be unreasonable. Again, I'm the peacemaker here. I'm the calm one. And most people expect me to be the crazy one. Like, mendigo Erasmo es el que va, tirar las mesas and all that. No, I want people to have realistic expectations of what the PUB board is going to do, and what the city commission at this point can't do.
That's right.
And that's a cue for somebody to say something.
And I think we're absolutely doing that. Think about it. Up to now, has anybody said, nope, we're not giving any money back? Has anybody said, nope, this audit isn't true, everything in it is false? Has anybody said, no, nobody's getting fired over this? Nobody said those things. And remember, before this audit was made public, it was given to law enforcement. And that was in concert with the auditors who recommended that as well.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I
How
think
much do
everything
auditors
was
cost?
headed in the right direction. Now the city's moratorium on disconnects, moratorium on late fees, putting together a charter review committee, and now a committee to talk about, all right, how do the monies that are left get disposed of. It's not just up to PUB. Now we're going to weigh in on that. We see things headed in the right direction.
I would say $160,000. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the cost of the audit, Commissioner.
I think that's how much was originally approved, but when it was approved, it was supposed to take like 4 months. So I need to go back and double check and see if it was all done for that price or if costs went up because it took longer than expected.
So excuse me, how much for the audit?
160,000.
It was about 160,000 when we approved it last November. And it
Okay,
was expected to take 4 to 5 months, I believe.
okay.
Do you guys get any updates from the feds? I mean, will they be communicating with the city?
I don't know I wouldn't be surprised if we did get updates, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get updates, because especially depending on what they're finding through their investigation. If there's more to find, it may be that they don't want to tip anybody off that they're finding something and are planning to take action, because that could jeopardize further investigation.
Now, and I'm being asked the question, and I'll answer it. Would you consider anyone, Commissioner De Los Santos, in your staff to take the position that you are waiting to fill?
My staff as commissioner?
Yeah.
No, I think that would be a conflict.
Yeah. Okay. Again, it was just sent in. I said yeah.
Would,
Jamie,
do you
know
consider
where you can
Carlo?
go with your thoughts and your comments.
Huh?
I said Janie knows where she can go with her thoughts and her comments. I am the commissioner who has brought the most transparency, who has proactively given reports to the people, even when you all didn't know new reports were coming out from Car Rigs and Ingram. You can ask Mr. Castro. I was the one that reached out and said, hey, there's new information. It's on my website, and here's a copy of it.
100%.
So don't tell me that I only give a damn about the LGBTQ community.
Oh,
From the beginning, I've been about the public, law enforcement, veterans, anybody in need in this community. Don't give me crap like that.
What she gave us. Yeah, again, I didn't actually read this. And
I know you didn't, but I saw it. And that's not something I'm going to let go by without calling it out.
And again, I will affirm what the commissioner is saying. The commissioner has been very, very quick to produce information. And again, guys, let's be appreciative, folks. Come on, man. Let's be appreciative.
Homophobes aren't capable of being appreciative.
One of the things that look, we gotta pick our fights, and this is one of the things that I hope that we got the message across. We can't not go out there all scout. Right now, we need to focus. Everyone in this community, folks, everyone, we need to come together as one, and calm ourselves down and start to find the solutions to the mess that other people placed us in.
Because if we start fighting with what idea sounds better, we start fighting amongst each other, then we're again the crabs in the bucket.
It's not going
and
to work.
We will never move forward. So we need to put everything aside. And when somebody's reaching out and providing you the resources, providing you the knowledge, providing you with the things that we should be doing, then we all need to grab each other's hands and run with that.
Yes.
Because if not, we're never going to move forward. And that's why we are the way we are.
And maybe go back to past shows so that they can get more informed. I know this weekend when I was gone, I was during the day catching up to the shows that I had missed, because it's important you can't just come on this show today when you haven't seen shows in the past and then just start blurring things out, because it's not right. I mean, Commissioner De Los Santos was on last week with very good information. So it doesn't go,
No, it doesn't go.
You can't just be in that position.
I think Mr. Castro can tell everyone also which elected officials have been on your show more than any other.
And let me say this, guys. Very, very simple. It's not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It's not a gay thing. It's not a straight thing. It's not a trans thing. It's not a brown thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a black thing. It's a community thing, guys. And all of us in the city of Brazo, we need to stay focused on, guys. We cannot be throwing jabs at each other. Look, as much as you may want to, Erasmo is the DWI guy or Erasmo falls asleep in water. It's neither here nor there. Right now, let's stay focused on us coming together, and let's support every single elected official out there that is willing to come forward, be transparent, be open, and willing to listen. Like Linda mentioned, like the individuals that were at the PUB board. Look, I don't mean to demonize every single individual on the PUB board. My concern with the people on the PUB board, or if they had and have, that close relationship with Tony Martinez. And again, the only reason is because, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's no one on that audit report that has mentioned more than Tony Martinez. And it's just so. And again, I don't like, never liked Tony Martinez. I ran against Tony Martinez for mayor. It hurts my heart that our former mayor, and again, don't like the guy, never did. It hurts my heart that our former mayor would do something like this. And everyone should be hurt, but we should want restitution. Good evening, and thank you. Good evening. Let's go to see how you get some college. Were people so money hungry focused on what was really important? 100%. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Give us our money back. No doubts about it. They need to explain things very clearly in writing. Give us interest. Give us the late fees, a PUB charge. Give us this. Yeah, and and this sentiment comes because I don't know if y'all talked to any of these people, but I've talked to a lot of people that said, Erasmo, we had to sell our car. We had to sell our car because they disconnected our lights back in Salta al Año, and nos quedamos sin carro. And we had to pay late fees, we had to
Mhm.
pay reconnection fees, y nos quedamos sin carro. And that's the sentiment out there. A lot of
The
people.
horror stories. I mean, I just saw someone, I believe it was Yasmin Pedraza, and she put on there, we had to sell our furniture,
Um,
sell some of our belongings, take out loans with interest. I mean, there truly are horror stories. And the time is now to do something. The time is now for us to be vocal, for us to unite. I mean, I continually say it over and over again, but it's because I want us to refocus on the main goal, and that's united. We need to unite.
I had a question this evening. Maybe you can answer, Roy.
Mhm.
Since they're gonna be freezing on the late fees and such, if there is any people currently without power, because of this, will you guys help in connecting them back, or?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that, but right after that meeting, I was contacted by someone in the community who's got someone who is apparently in that exact situation. So that's the first call I'm making in the morning, is to find out what's going on.
Because I think that's important. I mean, it's not fair for them. Well, you already got disconnected. We're starting
No.
from like the people
No, in
right
fact,
now.
what I think they should do, even if someone isn't disconnected right now, even if they have power right now, but they had been disconnected at any time from when the rates started spiking, or they had late fees from any time when the rates started spiking, I think PUB should use their discretion and go back and credit those.
Yes, my parents fall under that. They've been charged many late
Mhm.
fees because
Yep.
they've been late.
I mean, especially when you look at it, let's say somebody's bill doubled and they still paid $100 or $50 or whatever they would normally pay, but they couldn't pay the whole thing. They're showing a good faith effort. They shouldn't be penalized with late fees at a time like this.
I like that. I
Michael
agree
Michael
with that.
Gonzalez is one of the appointees. One of the appointees to the review board, charter review board. He ran for city commissioner, District One.
I don't think the mayor appointed Michael. Yeah, I think the mayor appointed Carlos Cascos.
Oh, okay. Whom did Michael?
I don't recall. I'd have to go back and watch
Yeah,
the
but
video.
I like Michael. Michael has always been seemed like a great guy. A one man cheese show. Who are those people on the screen? Uh, let's see. Attaboy Roy. Attaboy Roy. Attaboy Roy. Yeah,
It
definitely.
came out on Channel 5 News.
Who did? Me?
Me
Oh, man, you're all over the place. Damn it.
and the baby too.
Don't forget the 56 million BIZ loss for the fine arts. Yeah, 53, but it's okay. 21 million, bridge to nowhere. 28. The 30 plus million for the sports car. Yeah, I think it's close to 50. Yeah, and yeah, you know, I think we've just been scammed so much. Even before your time, we had the Fly Frontera thing. We were able to help stop that. You know, but one of the questions that, and back then, again, yeah, and I'm going to blame myself. For that. Maybe I was more of an a-hole back then. I was new to all this. I didn't know what the hell was going on, and I've apologized many times for a lot of the comments and posts that I made when we first started to do this whole page and stuff. But we were able to stop the Fly Frontera thing. And I think what David is mentioning is something that's very prevalent in a lot of our minds. It's just been Titan tires, big steel, one thing, bridge to nowhere, sports park, a disaster, um, uh, BISD, Performing Arts Center, this thing. And it's just, when is it going to stop? So that's why a lot of folks, Commissioner, there's
No, I understand the why. I absolutely understand the why.
lacks, there's a lack of trust. And 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 one of the things, and as crazy as this may sound, because a lot of people think that Erasmo, no, hombre, que les va a gritar y todo. I want people to trust our elected officials, all of them. I want people to see all the great stuff that's happening in Brazil. I want to come on here every day and say, hey, kumbaya, kumbaya, kumbaya. Like I told the Republicans today, kumbaya. I want to do that. I mean, I'd be a crazy nut if I just wanted to come out here and scream like a crazy man. I do that sometimes, but it's just my thing.
I
But we,
think as much as we get frustrated and angry about this whole situation, I personally hold back a lot on what I would like to say in front of them because I don't think that's the approach that we need as the public. We obviously need to talk to them properly, and we can't just go out there and shout like crazies because then we're clearly not going to get heard. I mean, I think the way we've been approaching it with facts and knowledge and true heartfelt sentiment is what's gotten us this far. So there's no need to get, you know, crazy or for the people that watch us, and stay quiet in the background to expect for us to go in there like, crazy because in my person, for me, I'm not going to go that way. I don't feel that's the proper way to approach anything. It's going to get us nowhere.
or the application. I think most of the individuals that are on the board, Commissioner Chanclas could correct me, uh, had been, most of them had already been there before. And do they have an application on file at the city?
I don't recall seeing a list of applications that were on file for appointments tonight. I'll go back and double check the packet.
So with these
I don't
individuals,
do that while we're on.
that were selected, could it be the case that some of them don't even have an application to be on the board at the city?
That's possible. Absolutely. I don't think an application is a requirement for all boards.
So then for this one, it wasn't a requirement. I mean, for the charter review, there isn't a requirement.
Oh, hang on a second. Let me open this up.
Cool. I'll give you time. So I can keep on going through the comments because there's so many. I'm leery of your choice. Oh, he hasn't chosen yet. Question: how much money does Mr. Los Santos have in
What was
his?
the comment? Leery of my choice?
Yeah, I'm leery of your choice. Doesn't happen. Question: how much money does Mr. Santos have in his bank account? Only wrong answer will be too much. Because I
Let's see.
haven't gotten,
Give me 2 minutes and I'll tell you right now. Or give
I
me
haven't
1
gotten-
minute and I'll tell you.
I haven't gotten any of that money. I'm still waiting for a carne asada. This show taught me how jurisdictions work in the correct procedure, so that we just don't complain with the resolution.
It looks like in the packet we got, there was the roster of the members who had been on that
Sure.
board previously. But I don't see a list of applicants for applications that were on file. And I know, yeah, Carlos Cascos got reappointed. Evaristo Cardenas got reappointed. I don't remember if Michael Gonzalez was one of the names that got reappointed tonight.
Who? Michael Gonzalez was on the Michael Gonzalez was on the board.
Yeah, but was he reappointed tonight?
Yeah, he was. Michael Gonzalez?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was.
Okay. Then that means 3 of them were reappointed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, and who knows? Jeez, man, guys, we gotta stop talking sometimes. Like, who knows how much lost with time tire? Yeah, we don't know. They need to have board members who are just not paid and will be transparent. They're not paid.
You don't need to talk less at us, but you just need to make the show longer.
As much as let me say, guys, I will be very limited these next couple of days. I am going to take care of my muela. I am been mostly in pain, and for the past couple of days, but it's okay. I can take a hit, and gotta get take that care of. I'm actually going to stop campaigning for a couple of days because I'm going to take care of myself, and will still be doing the shows. Actually, tomorrow night we will have Commissioner Jessica Tetro on tomorrow night, which appreciate that as well.
Very
So
good.
tomorrow night should be an interesting show, and I think it's going to be important because Commissioner Tetro has a little bit of more direct insight in regards to what was going on those previous years. So guys, if you think tonight was a great show with Commissioner Dos Santos.
Are you saying she's better than I am?
She's a little bit better looking.
Beautiful. I'll give you that. Okay.
Hey,
And she
guys.
doesn't wear chanclas.
And
That's
she does
right.
well sometimes. And guys, I'm going to not get to all the comments again tonight. I love y'all so much, but I
Breaking
appreciate
your campaign promises.
and I promised that I was going to go only comments, but it's y'all's fault, Commissioner. You all call these special meetings, and if we didn't have these special meetings, we'd just be doing comment. But then all of a sudden, it was kind of funny because we were going to meet tonight, and all of a sudden, I think it was Friday, that all of a sudden, but there's a meeting. Oh crap! And then they're going, okay, and then there's a POB meeting. You're going, oh crap!
When did you all reschedule what you all were going to do tonight? So I can call a special
No,
meeting for
we
that
still
night?
went.
We got together today.
Good.
It was good, and
Good.
it was good. And again, one of the things that we talked about, and again, we were planning to live stream it. It's just because it was so crazy, out there. And the reason we wanted to live stream it, I don't want anyone to think that, again, just for clarity purpose, it's not we hate them all. Let's get together and let's see how we could screw everybody over. It's not that type. It's more of people in the community wanting to get together, wanting to get answers, wanting to to go out there and ask the right questions, and we can appreciate that. So one of the things that we had talked about, and I think Linda and Kayla were on the thread, was it's live stream 'em. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing
Absolutely.
behind there. I mean, there's nothing like, oh, let's overthrow the government. I don't mind that being the king of Brownsville. That's okay. I'll accept.
And honestly, if these boards don't proactively do it on their own, and if we don't have the power to do it as a city commission, which hopefully we will after the charter amendment, but just like when the legislature had to step in, and I hate when Austin has to tell us how to be responsible when it comes to good government, but that's exactly what was needed when it came to public comment. Because I remember when it was in Brownsville, you were allowed to speak at public comment, but you could not talk about anything that was on the agenda that they were going to talk about that night. And that was just asinine. It was ridiculous. That's how Brownsville was before. And then it was the legislature who mandated it. No, the public can speak about anything they want, whether it's on your agenda or not on your agenda. So if it comes to it, then the legislature should step in and mandate that all entities that are handling taxpayer monies or the laws and taxpayers' rights, you should have to live stream your meetings, not just be open to the public physically, but they should have to live stream in this day and age.
Nerth appointed Golansky. Nerth Golansky appointed Michael.
Okay.
Linda, anything else that we need to cover?
I think that was about it. It was just reporting, updating the people what happened today, what was on the agenda, what we heard, what we asked on behalf of everyone. And so just to let you guys know is that they're listening. They're listening. They're looking at your posts on social media, what you're commenting. They're reading the emails. They're seeing your public comments. They're hearing it. And so as long as we continue to vocalize realistically, not unrealistic things, but as long as we continue to set those goals and strategize, I mean, we're going to get the goals that we want.
I mean, I heard I'm getting new roomies. You might, mi amor. Very soon, love. And Reina, please put me on the visitors list. I want to stop by and visit with you. Honestly, I do. Someone sent her a message. I do want to be on her visitors list for personal reasons. Uh, yeah, I agree with guys. We have to be reasonable. We have to work together. And if ever there was a time when we, as Brownsville residents, Brownsville folk, need to come together, need to have calm hearts, cool heads, is now. Let's find solutions. Let's put safeguards in place so this never, ever, 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 ever happens again. And the only way we're going to accomplish this is if we work together and to bring healing to our city. One more word, kumbaya.
Kumbaya. Well, that's a great way to end it.
Carlo, anything other, Carlo?
What? Do I have
Anything
anything?
else that you guys want to say, Carlo, Kayla?
Carlo, guys,
No, I think we just gotta keep doing the good. We're doing this for the good of our community,
it
and
is good.
that has to be our number one goal. You know, it's
Absolutely.
we want a better community. I brought Carlo here from Dallas. He didn't want to come here for these political reasons, so we got to prove to him. No, I mean, and this is the
Public
future of
servants
our
out there.
children. I'm sorry.
There are honest public servants out there. I guarantee you.
Yes, there are.
And this is setting things right for the future of our children. You know, we don't want to be falling back to these type of things again. Like I mentioned it in the PUB meeting, we should all want to have a better Brownsville. And that requires better people in those boards, because without a better Brownsville or the community, there wouldn't be any board members. There wouldn't be a need for any of those things. So, you know, that's it. And I hope everyone follows that. If we all unite together, I mean, guys, we're going to have a really good life.
Here in Brownsville.
And the funny thing is, it's not difficult.
Yeah.
So many of these things you look at and like, it's common sense. You shouldn't be doing this. But unfortunately, we've got to codify those things and make it a rule, make it a law, make it an ordinance to get them to follow it. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, people should just do the right thing.
Yes, they should.
The problem is that doesn't always happen, but it's okay. Let me tell you, it's a storm. It's a huge tempest, but this is Brownsville. We'll weather the storm. You know, we'll clean up after any tempest that comes our way. And the only way that we're going to heal faster is if we continue to unite, continue to fight, continue to do the right thing. Guys, thank y'all.
And you know what? Just following on what you were saying, I did listen to your sermon, which was in relation to storms and what comes from that. And while this is a really nasty storm for our community, one great thing that's come from it is unity. We're uniting together as a community and getting more informed, getting more involved. I know for us, we're going to keep, you know, this is not just, during the Tanasca thing. Like, we're going to continue to do the right thing, be good stewards of our city.
It was a good sermon, right?
The best.
All right.
Listen to it.
Because I am the best pastor in Texas and North
I
Carolina.
know, that's why. I don't
Commissioner
even need
Alexander,
to listen because I know.
Commissioner Las Chanclas, I'll send you the link to the sermon. You'll love it.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Linda, I'll send it to you too.
Thank you.
It was good. It was great. Let me tell you, and trust me, when I flop at a sermon, I come out and I say, I flopped. Because that happens sometimes too. Guys, have a great evening. Social distance space, Kevin, it's space today. We still believe in all that.
Thank
Guys,
you. Good night.
Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll be here. I'm gonna do some more work, guys, and then I'm going to go visit my dentist, and we will have a show tomorrow night. We will have Commissioner Jessica Tetro on, so that should be an interesting show, guys. And again, Commissioner Los Santos, thank you, and you always an open invitation, and hope to see you back very soon. Unless you want to be on tomorrow, that'd be kind of interesting too. Guys,
bye everyone. Have a good night.
Mañana en la
Good
mañana.
night.
Be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless.